Gone are the days of tough talk about locking him up and tossing away the key. Dallas County District Attorney Susan Hawk now talking about something called reformative justice. This is catching on across the country, where a lot of people are saying, you know, not everybody who commits a nonviolent crime deserves to be in jail or prison.
I agree. I actually met with many law enforcement leaders in Washington, D.C. at the end of October, and it was the chief of police of Chicago, chief of police New Orleans, chief of police for L.A., assistant district attorneys, U.S. attorneys across the nation, and the name of the group is Reduce Crime, Reduce Incarceration, because we know that mass incarceration is not working.
We've seen not just, you would expect some, you know, if I can use the political labels, liberal groups to be advocating for this. When you see some very conservative Republican groups, and you're a Republican yourself, advocating for understanding, treatment, and a long-term view rather than just incarceration, that's groundbreaking.
Well, we know that, you know, the nonviolent, the mentally ill offender, putting them in prison for a year where they're out in a few months, and you know they've been around other felons. That's what their whole type has changed.
So how will the county, let's talk first about the program for young offenders, talking about young, nonviolent offenders. We're talking about somebody who may have broken into a car or stolen a car.
18 to 25.
Right, 18 to 25 years old. And you're going to start small. What happens with this program? Well,
we identify them immediately when they hit the jail. We assign them a case manager. They're given an assessment. Probation has agreed to supervise them pre-trial. So it's post-indictment, pre-adjudication. But probation has never stepped in and supervised defendants prior to them being placed on probation. Right. So they are eligible for all the resources that are available to the probation department.
Right. Normally what happens is you get indicted, you plead guilty, or you're convicted, and then you're placed on probation, and then these services become available to you. So this is going to delay the entire process for how long?
Well, we're trying to flag them and identify them as soon as they hit the jail. Then they can be out in a week. We have assessment on them. We have identified what their needs are. We have substance abuse if they need substance abuse issues. They have job training, and jobs, and actually the GED or education is the core focus of the AIM program, and that's the young offenders.
Right, and before you're going to get out of that program, you have to get your GED, which gives you some other opportunities. So then is your record wiped clean?
What happens is their case is dismissed and expunged, so it's no longer on their record. But in order for them to graduate, they have to participate in the program for a year, and they have to have a job skill and or GED before they graduate, and that's the main focus. Of course, we give them substance abuse counseling or any other issues that they may have, but really give them a framework or ground to succeed in life.
What if I'm a victim of a crime and I say, I don't want this huggy stuff, I want this kid to go to jail?
Well, as you know, I tried a case 2 weeks ago where the individual got life for stabbing his girlfriend 39 times. I believe that there's individuals that belong in prison. That's why we are making sure the individuals that we place in these diversion programs are ones that can be productive members of society. If they're violent or they're a danger to the community, they will not be eligible for these programs.
Right, and as we talked about the last time you were with us, roughly one-third of the people in the Dallas County Jail who are, for the most part, serving short sentences or waiting trial, mentally ill.
30%.
And a similar program for them as well as the youthful offenders.
So we have an AIM program, and it stands for Achieve, Inspire, Motivate. Then we have the SET program for mentally ill offenders, which stands for Stabilization, Engagement, Transition. So they're two separate tracks in the Reformative Justice Unit. And then we have what we call CARE, which is Citizens Against Recidivism, which is our community prosecution.
We will see how it goes, and I know you'll be tracking it because you're going to go back before the Commissioner's Court and say, this worked, we hope.
We already have metrics in place to measure our success, so I have no doubt we'll be successful.
Thank you so much.